Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Well, I want to talk a little bit today about creators and media companies that ask to use their art, their creations, free of charge. Because this is a rampant thing. And what got me to thinking about this is about a week ago or so, there was out in LaGrange, which is a suburb west of here, nice little town. But at the main railroad crossing, because the Burlington Northern Santa Fe line runs out right through LaGrange, goes right past downtown LaGrange. And LaGrange Road, which is a major north-south road, has a crossing there, grade level crossing. LaGrange Road is also further north called Manheim Road. Anyway, last week, a semi-truck, crossed the intersection as a train was approaching. And there's a traffic light on the other side of the crossing, and it went red. I mean, it's kind of weird. The driver, in my opinion, messed up. I mean, he should have been able to tell there was a train coming. We're not paying attention, right? So he crosses. It must have crossed before the gate went down, and he's stuck on the tracks. And a freight train's coming. It wasn't a commuter train, a metro train, which is good because that would have been probably worse, especially if it was a cab car. So he stopped, and then he sees the train is coming. The train engineer is able to slow the train. The train was probably not going very fast in the first place. Train engineer gets the train slowed, but he can't avoid hitting the trailer. Luckily, the driver had pulled the tractor off of the crossing, and so the train hit the trailer, and of course ripped the trailer off of the tractor, but came to a stop right there. I mean, took this trailer cause actually hit the station, because it is, again, a metro station, caused damage to the station. Luckily, nobody was in the way. But, it's pretty, and it was on video. I think the person was a rail fan, was there just videoing trains, because there's a lot of train traffic through there. Good for them. They got a great video. However, in the comments, you got several comments from staff of our local news media. Hey, can we use this in our paper, on our network, on our evening news, blah, 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 blah. And, I don't know why creators do this, but I see this all the time, and they say, sure, go ahead, just credit me. If you take a viral video, it's worth money. It really is worth money. And you might think, oh, I'm going to get exposure for this. That exposure is really just not going to matter. It's not. And I don't see why a company that is making millions, if not billions of dollars, can't afford to pay creators for using their work. And it's really kind of on us, because if you think that you're doing anybody any favors by giving your work away to these companies, you're not. You're hurting all of us. You're hurting all of us, because we're training these companies to expect stuff for free, when they're going to get advertising revenue, they're going to get, clicks and views. So why are we giving this away? Through my career, I've frequently been asked, mostly for photographs, hey, that's a really great shot. Can we use it in our publication, or can we use it on our website? And it's like, and you'll get great exposure. And I remember I responded to one person. I said, I've been published in all three major news weeklies: Time, Newsweek, U.S. News, all of them. Newsweek, I had a 2-page spread that ran in the U.S. edition and several international editions. I made over $1,000 on that. I don't give stuff away. So my recommendation to people is, don't give this stuff away. And really, I have one video that I shot a long time ago, before I started doing these types of videos. And it was Halloween 2014. And this fall gale came off Lake Michigan. You know, we talk on the Great Lakes, we talk about the gales of November. Well, this one came early on Halloween, and it was insane. 20-foot waves. And so whoa, I'm going to go down and get shots of this. And at the time I had a Canon 70D, and I went and I just took 2 kit lenses. I had an 18-55 STM, which was a much better lens than it should have been, I think, at the price. And it was really a sharp lens. And the 55 to 250 millimeter STM. So both APS-C kit lenses. And that 55 to 250 was really sharp. And got to where I could park close to North Avenue Beach, went across the footbridge that goes over Lakeshore Drive, and then down to the seawall, which kind of faces south there. I mean, you're standing just north of downtown Chicago, and you can see downtown Chicago and the John Hancock Center. In fact, I'll put up photos and video. And the first thing I notice when I get there is Jim Cantore is there. Now, Jim Cantore, as a lot of people know, is the Weather Channel meteorologist, and he, I don't know if he's still doing this, but he would go and show up when hurricanes were about to strike. And there's an old joke about that. If Jim Cantore shows up in your town, it's time to leave town. So he was there with his crew, and yeah, these waves are massive. And so I got this video of this guy, photographer, and he had one of the Canon 5Ds, might have been a Mark III at the time, and he is really close to the edge of the seawall. I mean, I was standing back because these waves are sweeping down, like laterally down the seawall, and I saw one coming, thought it was a little bit bigger than the rest, and I took video, and I videoed that wave coming in along the seawall. And then he was standing right at the top of the seawall, and it hit him, just maybe about knee high, but moving water, even a few inches high can take you off your feet. Took him down. And I put that video up on YouTube. And within a day, I got contacted by an outfit called Jukin Media, which probably a fair number of people watching this video know Jukin Media. Fail Army, they have this whole thing of fails on video. And I said, hey, that's really great. We would like to represent you. We'd like to take that video, and we would like to represent you. And, I got in touch with them, and they told me the deal, and I went, oh, that sounds good. So I went ahead, and I signed up with them. Now, that video is on YouTube. I'm going to link to it in the description. I can't actually show it on this channel because they have a copyright. I own copyright, but they have a copyright claim on that video. It's in the description. And actually, if I went to Jukin's site, and I could actually use it, but I'd have to contact them they have some sort of waiver for using it for your own YouTube channel for monetization. But it's Sunday. Probably nobody's going to get in touch with me. So not a big deal. That's down. That link is down in the description. And that video has licensed multiple times. I mean, there's a TV show called Ridiculousness. I'm not sure it's still on, but Ridiculousness, and it licensed a few times for that show. So it made me, not tons of money, but it's made me several $100s. Maybe more. I'd have to look. It's been a while. But if you've got a video that is newsworthy, and you can put it on YouTube, but what you do is you go to Jukin Media and you can actually send them the link. Say, hey, I got this video, here it is on YouTube. And if it's something they want, they're going to market it for you and you're going to make money. If they don't want it, you're probably not going to hear back from them. I mean, they're not going to bother telling you, no, we don't want that. You're just not going to hear back from them. So in conclusion, if you get something really great on video, and you've got people asking to use it for free, think long and hard about that. I mean, you could do something, if you don't want to do Jukin Media, you could open up an account with, say, SmugMug, because you can upload video to SmugMug and you can set prices for licensing stuff. So you could always put it on SmugMug and say, set a license price of around $100, you know. And just when somebody asks you, hey, that's really cool, we'd like to use it in our paper, on our website, on our TV broadcast. Okay, here's a link to it on SmugMug. You can pay for it. Exposure doesn't get you anything. This goes back to before YouTube, before, you know, video got so big. This is commonly they say, oh, you'll get exposure, as I mentioned. That doesn't do anything for you. I mean, it's not going to matter. They see your image on a website. So what? Chances are nothing's going to happen. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this. Hey, what do you think? If you disagree with me, feel free to leave a comment down below. Any questions, leave them down below. I'll get to those as soon as I can. If this is interesting and useful to you, hey, pop that like button. It's a big help to me. I'm Todd Banner. I will see you next time.